So today the Eagles scored 4 touchdowns. They didn't at all kick a point after try, and half of the 2-point conversion attempts were read option plays. One from Jalen Hurts, the other from Carson Wentz. Now I wanna ask Doug Peterson this simple question. On the very last one, where if you make it, you're tied up with the Ravens. You basically lose. Did you forget that the first attempt at an option for the 2-point conversion, an option play, didn't work? Did you just have a mental lapse, or are you just that stupid? I really want to know. I am genuinely curious, because that whole second half was nothing but Eagles just full out dominating offensively. They were actually doing really well. I was pleasantly surprised, because Ertz went out. Miles Sanders had a big run for a touchdown that he fumbled, and then J.J. Arcega-Whiteside got credit for. But regardless, he hurt himself on that play. You're out your two best guys outside of Carson and Jason Kelce on your offensive line, and you managed to mount a comeback and outscore the Ravens, 26-13 in that second half? Or no, 28-13. 28-13 in that second half. And really, the best you saw what worked on the first two 2-point conversions that succeeded, right? You passed the ball, you got somebody out wide open, and Wentz made the throw on the move. Where did that go? I really want to know. But aside from all that, this game was ugly. This game proved to me two things. That one, that this team actually can do stuff, but at the same time, it's just like the rest of the NFC East. They just can't play a full game. Because the first quarter was perhaps one of the ugliest and most embarrassing quarters I've ever seen offensively. And defense, I can't really say too much outside of you didn't force a turnover. You didn't take the ball away. So, of course, you didn't help bail out your offense by making a big-time play. The biggest thing I can say is that the Ravens really kept us in the game, because they were playing very undisciplined today with a lot of penalties. The Eagles were better as far as penalties goes. The Ravens were horrible. John Harbaugh was furious because of how many penalties they allowed. The Eagles in the second quarter, on a 4th down and 1, went with a quarterback sneak, and Wentz couldn't make it, because guess what? We know that we do quarterback sneaks all the time. They're not going to work all the time. You need to stop doing that on 4th downs. I mean, that's just my opinion. You saw it not work there, and yeah, later on you got a touchdown by doing it, but still. On 4th and 1, I would rather you run the ball up the gut with Boston Scott or Corey Clement, or even Miles Sanders, anybody, than do a QB sneak. At least let them jump over instead of Wentz, because Wentz should have went lower, and if he wasn't going to go lower, he should have just jumped over everybody, because I don't know what the hell he was doing. And secondly, that whole second quarter, you miss out on points there, and then, of course, the next time you get the ball, you miss out on points at the end, because Jake Elliott misses a field goal. So aside from the Ravens making mental mistakes keeping you in the game, you're making mental mistakes yourself. You're making big-time mistakes. John Hightower dropped a big 40-yarder to start off the game that could have probably changed the whole outlook of the game in the first quarter. Dropped it. It was on 3rd down. He completely dropped it. It was 3rd and 22. A 40-yarder. Dropped it. One of the easiest passes ever. Miles Sanders, before that 4th down and one QB sneak that didn't go anywhere, that didn't work, he dropped an easy touchdown as well. Missed opportunities that these players should not be missing out on. That's the fact of the matter. Carson Wentz had a fumble on a read option that I was really questioning why on earth we were doing that in the second quarter, but whatever. It didn't really matter much. Yeah, after that we were down 14-0. Doesn't matter. Eagles managed to make a mount a comeback, and that's when I started to live stream at the very end of the game, because I was surprised, and they were actually, 1st and goal. They were about to do it, and then that call on the 2-point conversion, it just put me out, and I was like, fuck it, dude, I'm done. Because I don't get it. I do not understand why you would do that. On a 2-point conversion, you're going to run a read option. When the read option with the guy who specializes in it, Jalen Hurts, in the second quarter or in the third quarter, it didn't work. Why on earth are you going to try it again? in the most critical moment where if you get this, you tie up the game. And you don't even have to kick an onside kick. You just have to kick it down the field and say, Baltimore, try your best. Try your best. And if you get the field goal, we'll try and come back at you with another field goal. If not, so be it. Instead, that's what you do. This game overall really comes down to coaching, which I have continued to question ever since the Super Bowl win. Does Doug Peterson really know what he's doing as a play caller? Because there are moments like in the entire second or half of the game up until that very end, and the initial 2-point, both of the 2-point conversions that didn't work. I ask myself, does he know what he's doing as a play caller? Because there are the moments outside of all of that where they're looking really good. But that first quarter, and they're showing it on the TV right now. If you want to look at it, go for it. Yeah, it did not look very good whatsoever. It was ugly. It was very ugly. Second quarter was terrible. Wasn't any better. You moved the ball a little bit, but you didn't get any points. Third quarter, oh my God, Miles Sanders breaks a long run down that scores a touchdown for us. And then all of a sudden, we're scoring points again. We're moving the ball again. Like, I don't understand. For the past 3 years, ever since we won the Super Bowl, where has this gone? First halves are terrible. Second halves are better. Why? Why can't we figure it out in the first half? We dropped to 1-4, which means we are still in second place. Because congrats to Giants fans out there. You guys won your first game against Washington. We couldn't do that. Can't wait to meet you guys on Thursday. And the Cowboys play tomorrow against an Arizona team that can definitely put up a fight against a backup quarterback in Andy Dalton, who needs to really prove himself for a full 4 quarters. So this division isn't over, obviously, especially for the Eagles. Am I expecting anything to happen? No. Do I expect the Eagles to, no matter what, undoubtedly 100% win against the Giants this Thursday night? No. Do I expect in 2 weeks for them to host the Cowboys and successfully pull off a win? No. I don't know what to expect, but I'm not expecting them to win. I'm not expecting them to guarantee a win. Don't tell me that we are guaranteed a win, because we are never guaranteed a win. Not with the way this team is, not with the way the coaches are, not with the way anything has gone this year. Nothing is guaranteed anymore. And that's the end of the discussion. And just Eagle fans, especially the optimistic ones, and trust me, I want to be an optimistic Eagle fan. I always have been. I always try to look at the upside, but through 6 weeks, you're a 1-win team. Let that sink in. And no, don't bring up, one-win team in the NFC least. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what division you're in, because that's still bad. We're not going to win a playoff game. If we host one, which if we do, Jesus Christ. Am I really supposed to feel good about that? This was a winnable game. The Rams game was a winnable game. The Washington game was a winnable game. The Steelers game was a winnable game. All these games where we had the chance to win, if we win those games, we are what? Undefeated. Where I actually thought we could be at this point. But I'm disappointed.